Oakland Athletics Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
10 years ago, a roster of 25 men came together in the East Bay. An excellent pitching staff led the way, but some clutch hits throughout the season, and a few young and veteran stars would do the unthinkable as they were perfect for 20 games, placing the 2002 Oakland A's in baseball history. This season, the front office, Bob Melvin, and his coaching staff have assembled something special. Their excellent assortment of arms and never-say-die attitude have the fans believing once again they are seeing a special team loom in front of their eyes. They might not win 20 games in a row, but their push for the playoffs will surely be an exciting one as the 2012 season hits the final stretch. The giveaway tonight, Scott Hatteberg bobblehead, and we are celebrating the 20-game win streak. It was 10 years ago, right around this time, when the A's set the Major League, the American League record for consecutive wins. We also got a pretty good ball game tonight. It's the A's and the Indians coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Well, the 2012 Oakland A's have done a lot of good things. And, Ray, we talk a lot about the rookie pitchers. But let's not forget about the emergence of Chris Carter, because he is a completely different hitter than he was in the years we've seen him before. And
I think that's the biggest thing. Confidence, a lot of patience from this big, tall, right-handed first baseman. He's done a tremendous job. And I think just coming up this time, he's realized that he belongs here. Look how quick his stroke is. He's always had that, but he's always swung at a lot of bad pitches. But right now, he recognizes the pitches out of the strike zone, and as a result, he has taken them, drawn a lot of walks, coming through with some big hits, as he did last night with a sac fly. But it's great to see Chris Carter come up from AAA, continue to play as well at this level.
Now, last night in Game 1 of the series, the A's were down 4-0. They needed a big night from Josh Donaldson to get back in the game and then eventually win the game.
And very similar to Chris Carter, he has come back up after starting the season at third base, much more relaxed. He's swinging the bat well, a couple of hits to the opposite field, base hits, and then a couple of breaking balls that were hung. He pulled them to left field. Big four-hit night for him and a great play at third base. And remember, he was a catcher. He might have made the ball club as a backup catcher had Scott Sizemore not injured his knee out for the season. So Donaldson stepping in at third. He can also catch. But right now, I think he's playing as relaxed as Chris Carter.
Well, the manager must like it. He's hitting second tonight. So Donaldson all the way up to the second spot in the A's lineup. Bartolo Colon's going to pitch for the Athletics. He will be looking for his 10th win of the year. So Game 2 of the series is coming up. It's the A's hosting the Indians. And, boy, what a great pregame ceremony. Roy Steele is in the house. We'll talk about that, and we're going to look back again at 10-year anniversary of the 20-game win streak. Stick around.
California is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Toyota. Check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today.
Welcome back to the Coliseum. The wonderful pregame ceremonies have come to an end, and it's time for baseball. Game 2 of the series between the A's and the Cleveland Indians. Game time weather for tonight's game is brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. 69 degrees, 15 miles per hour on the winds, and a big crowd is on hand. So, should be a fun night of baseball here at the Coliseum. Let's check out the lineup for the Indians tonight. KIPNIS, Cabrera, Chu, Santana, Brantley, Duncan, KOTCHMAN, Hanahan, and EZEQUIEL CARRERA will play in left field. So the first pitch of the ball game from Bartolo Colon to Jason KIPNIS is a bit outside. So we are underway. A's won the game last night 6-4, comeback fashion. Down 4-0, battle back. A couple of runs in the 8th. And they got the win, so trying to make it 2 in a row over the Indians.
Says a lot about the club and the way they did come back. It did not take long. Bottom of the inning after Shelley Duncan slammed. They came back and scored 3 in the bottom half of the 4th. That's kind of been the way this club has played all season, thanks to the man running the club, number 6. And they play hard for him because he never gives up. I think that's a credit to the way this club has played all season.
20 last at-bat wins, 13 walk-off wins. So last night, last at-bat, bottom of the 8th. So that fits into that category.
Now, Bartolo Colon had a great streak going of consecutive scoreless innings, but last start against the Chicago White Sox ran up against a pretty good club, although great defense was not part of the game. That Colon lost the game against the White Sox. Gave up some runs, but just one of those games that Chris Sale pitched a little bit better. Did not allow much for the Athletics. Shadows, of course, always a tough time, but Bartolo Colon never changes his game regardless of shadows or sunshine, and that's the number 1 fastball.
So 3-2 to the leadoff man, Jason KIPNIS, and he rolls one foul.
It's good to see Colon throwing the 2-seam fastball inside of the lefties in the first inning, first batter, because we have seen the last few starts he's kind of shied away from that, staying away from the left-handers before using the fastball inside. But the 3-2 tried to do it. KIPNIS just happened to foul it.
So another payoff pitch, and this one's hit toward left field. Long run for Cespedes as he stops right near the line. He's got it, and that's the first out of the game. Let's look at the A's defense tonight. You see Cespedes in left field, Crisp and Reddick center and right, Donaldson, Pennington, Weeks, and Moss on the infield with George KOTTARAS doing the catching.
Good to see Josh Reddick back. Mouth guard and all.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless of whether the tooth's working, fixed or not, still wearing the mouth guard. He will be in the sunshine for a long time tonight. But Bartolo Colon, if you could just close your eyes and envision about 170-pound Bartolo Colon, first signing with Cleveland Indians at the time. He's been around a long time, and he's filled out just a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It was 1993 when Colon signed with the Cleveland Indians. He was 20 years old when he signed, and then he got to the big leagues in 1997.
I think the great thing about, and a compliment to Bartolo Colon, Don Cooper, pitching coach that he had in Chicago. We just saw Don Cooper in the White Sox, and he said he's always been in great shape. You can look at his size, you can look at anything you want about Bartolo Colon, but he knows how to pitch. He's always in great condition. And sure, he might have put on a few pounds, but it does not affect him, whether he's pitching, covering first, doing what he needs to do to help himself win and win for the club. He knows how to pitch. And there's a lot of young pitchers that can watch the veteran and learn a lot about the one pitch, the main pitch called the fastball.
Colon now 39 years old. The Indians traded him to the Montreal Expos in 2002. 2-2 pitch to ASDRUBAL CABRERA. And that one's hit high to right field. You see Reddick shading his eyes with his throwing hand. Now he's under it. So that's out number 2.
Bartolo talking to Cabrera as he runs back across the diamond. You'll see that quite often.
Batting in the third position, right fielder, number 17.
Cabrera got under it, but if he played in the sun as much as Reddick has, he knows how to handle the sun. Tough sun here at the Coliseum. And remember, tomorrow's day game, tough sun will be in left field and on the left side of the infield. But as the day sets, sun sets, it's more in right field, which you can see with the stadium configuration.
First pitch to Chu, off speed. Take a changeup from Cologne, and Chu swings and misses. .282 the average for the Indians right fielder. 14 home runs, 47 RBIs.
A whole bunch of lefties against Cologne tonight that Manny Actas put in his lineup. Really, I think that could be beneficial for Bartolo if the two-seamer's working, especially inside the lefties. That could help him. You get a lot of those fastballs outside hit to left field, in this case in the seats. Forget about those two. It's all about the number 1. Just a variation of speed. It's quite generous saying he throws sliders and changeups 11% of the time.
Yeah. Seems like less than that. 1-2 pitches high. So Bartolo Colon looking for career run number 171. He's 170 and 122. .73 of those wins in an Indians uniform. .3-2 pitch. Chu drills one to center field. COCO is there. He's got it. Side retired. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Bartolo Colon. Corey Kluber will take on the A's when we come back.
Charlene's always over there. She's smart.
No score, bottom of the first inning. And let's check out the lineup for the Oakland Athletics. Chris Donaldson. Donaldson after the big night into the second spot. Then Reddick, Cespedes, Carter, Moss, KOTTARAS, Pennington, and Weeks.
Corey Kluber first start against the Athletics, although the A's did face him back on September the 1st back in Cleveland in a relief appearance. So his first start for this young right-hander who's got a decent fastball, low 90s, 2-4 fastball, curve, slider, and changeup from Alabama. If you only knew about the late great Bear Bryant, University of Alabama football. Bernie's on the disabled list. One of them, anyway.
Not all of them. So Crisp steps in against Corey Kluber. First pitch is a bit low with the fastball. 246 for Coco with 6 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Two and 0. Kluber is 6'4", 215 pounds. When the Indians made that big 3-team trade, Cardinals, Padres, Indians, well, when it was all said and done, this was one of the guys the Indians got, Corey Kluber. They got him from the Padres. Hit well, center field. Michael Brantley going back at the warning track. He's got it. So 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Indians defense tonight has Ezequiel Carrera in left, Brantley in center, Shinsuchu in right. Hanahan, Cabrera, Kipnis, KOTCHMAN, with Carlos Santana doing the catching.
And the Active very fortunate to have a catcher who can play different positions. Carlos Santana, primarily a catcher, has done a very good job in that role, but he also, as the case last night, played first base. The switch hitter can play, keep his bat in the lineup. And this guy, as you said, Josh Donaldson, moved up to the number 2 hole tonight.
Had some very nice at bats last night.
When you can stay aggressive, especially with 2 strikes, get the leg kick, and be able to make adjustment on off-speed pitches the way he did last night. And when you're hot, you're hot.
That one drops in front of Carrera. And Donaldson's officially hot.
See, Vucinic can find a new bat form. I think that might have fractured him a little bit, but got in on the hands. Ball ran in. 2-0, big swing. And the result, that's 5 hits in a row. 4 last night. This was a fastball hit to left field. Unlike last night, he hit the fastballs to right field. Curve and slider to left.
So Reddick back in the lineup, which is great to see. Reddick pinch hit last night in that 8th inning, and he had a bloop single. 253 overall with 25 home runs. Reddick may be struggling right now, but that leads you to think that if a good hitter struggles, at some point there's going to be a hot streak. Right now he's got 11 hits in his last 72 at bats. That covers 17 games.
I think you can just look back at his month of May when he had 10 home runs, and Cespedes out on the disabled list, how much he helped carry the club with his power. There's so much talk about pitchers and watching their innings. How about a guy who never played every day?
Sure.
In the case of Josh Reddick, part-time player with the Red Sox, he comes over here, and that's an adjustment a position player has to get used to.
And you could make the argument that that could be more difficult than a young pitcher being in the rotation for the first time in his career, simply because of the
every day
volume of games. Every day.
And every day. You see the 10 home runs and the RBIs, good month of May, and maybe that was because it was a young part of the season, early part, and able to maintain the strength, but he's only going to get better. Remember, he's not 6'3", 6'4", 240 pounds. He's always been kind of thin of stature, and over the course of a season with the travel and day games after night games and all the work that these guys put in, I think it's remarkable that he has had the season he has had, and you can figure he's only going to get better and better as time goes, playing every day.
This one's hit towards center. And Brantley slides over into left center. He's got it. So that's out number 2, and Cespedes steps in.
another guy.
Yeah.
And he's the one that people really talk about because the Cuban national team only played 90 games in a season.
And Ray, is it, when you say a player might be getting tired, it's more than just, hey, tired as in I'm tired, I need to go to sleep. I mean, sometimes maybe you don't even know that your bat is slowing down, but it is.
Well, yes, the body just, I mean, you can feel strong coming into spring training in the first part of the season because you've been lifting weights all season, the off season, and feel strong. But as the season wears down, it's a grind. And I think one of the biggest things that guys early in the season might use a heavier bat, and as the season progresses, you get a little bit more tired. They drop down in the size of the bat, the weight of the bat. But if you start out at 31, 32 ounces, how far can you go?
Yeah.
You get any kind of quality wood.
Runner goes and pitches foul back.
I think just looking at Cespedes and just looking at his size, looks like he's lost weight.
Yeah.
I mean, just looking at him and the number of games he's played. And I think a lot of times, too, Kip, you can think about being physically tired, but there's a lot to be said about between the years, you know, how you feel. And you could talk yourself into being tired. But if you're winning, you're having success, a lot of that, you can talk yourself into being a lot stronger and play a lot better just because you're having success either as an individual or as a team. Mostly as a team.
Cespedes reaches for it. 304 overall for Cespedes with 15 home runs, 57 RBI.
We mentioned last night how instrumental Ariel Prieto has been with Cespedes, and he will continue to be that way the remainder of the season. And the A's hope in the postseason. It's a lot of talk about just making sure that Prieto continues to tell him that there's a long season. Stay strong, keep playing hard. And his hustle is probably the biggest attribute. The way he can run and beat out infield hits, steal bases, may not hit as many home runs as the season progresses. He gets down to the last month and a half, which the A's are in right now, but he can do a lot with his top 5 tools that he possesses.
One-two pitch is way outside. Chris Carter would be next if Cespedes can keep the inning going. Short lead by Donaldson at first. He's not going right now. And again, a foul ball. Nice crowd tonight. I mean, not a sellout, but maybe mid to late 20s as far as 20,000 goes.
And a couple of tiers of the suites, maybe even more than that being used in center field, maybe even the upper suites, some of them being used. So that's always a good sign. Probably weren't used for the Raiders game here tonight.
No. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Sinking life on that fastball. So no score after one. When we come back, Scott HATTEBERG will join us. The bobblehead giveaway. That is Scott HATTEBERG. guy looks like he's played before. Scott Hatteberg, our guest in the booth. Scott, good to see you.
Crafty righty right there.
That's right. Sinker slider guy.
Not a lot of velocity.
Sort of like a catcher.
A lot of gravity involved.
So what a night, huh? What a great pregame ceremony.
I tell you, getting back, seeing the guys was something cool. I mean, I can't believe 10 years went by so fast. But I tell you, watching that video, man, it was pretty amazing. And I tell you what, a lot of guys that I wish could be here were big parts of that team. It was a pretty talented squad we had right there.
And the interesting thing, these guys are still playing.
Yeah.
Xavi, the nice tribute, and Barry Zito, a couple of guys who stand out. David Justice, of course, wasn't here, but he's no longer playing. But that was a nice part, I think, with the video tribute. Guys that would like to have been here.
Yeah, it was cool. I guess it shows how young we were really as a club. You know, there's a lot of similarities to the club right here. So that's kind of neat.
Carlos Santana skies one right near Hatteberg's old spot. So what do you think of the bobblehead? Were you?
That was about my range too.
We like to ask the guys, are you happy with your own bobblehead?
Well, I'm not. First of all, I never thought I was going to get a bobblehead, let alone complain about one. So I thought it looked awesome. It's got a little extra feature with the button, and you got Bill King's call. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I think that's only the second one. Bill King had his own bobblehead, which had his voice and some of his great calls. So it's nice to get the call, because that was a great one by the man, Ole Toledo man. Well, I'll say this, sitting in the booth with the great Bill King that night, 11-0. We said cakewalk. It's over. Huddy on the mound.
Put the feet up.
Yeah, I mean, it's over. And then all of a sudden, here they came back, and I said, and I actually told Bill, his call in any time you get towards the extra innings. Or Ken had taken the night off, so Bill and I were doing it, and you alternate. And I said, Bill, I'm out of here. It's all yours, man. I said, I'm not going to get my call when the game's over. So, I mean, as it turned out, it was the bottom ninth in his inning, but if it had gone to the 10th, that would have been mine. I said, Bill, I'm finished. You go to the play-by-play. It's all yours. So it's appropriate because of his great talent, and hope one day he's in the Hall of Fame. Maybe that one call.
Nailed it, didn't he?
Oh, he was great. He was great. You copied it well.
That was him. Hold on. No thespian, I know it. Oh, jeez. I thought, man, you guys make anything workable out of this. If you'd have seen the live uncut footage.
They did.
Well, we were talking about with Art Howe last night. I know several questions have been asked about during that streak, but where do you put the Detroit game, Comerica Park down 7-2 in the streak? You guys came back and won that game. I mean, to me, that was the one that I looked at and said, it's over, and came back.
It's funny you say that, because I was standing in the tunnel before we came out with Art. That was on the road trip, right?
Yeah,
like game 14 or right on there. And we were looking at the scores going,
Finish that when we come back. All right, we'll be back. No score as the Indians go in order. California is brought to you by Provident Credit Union. Provident Credit Union Super Reward Checking is better than free. They pay you. Well, that had to be fun, huh?
Oh, it was a blast.
It's got a good number.
That's right.
So you were talking about the game in Detroit.
Right. So they had all the cards lined up before the game with the scores on them. And we were going through them. And I guess like a no-hitter, you got to have a moment where, you know, a great catch is made or whatever. But in the streak, Art comes up and he goes, "That was the game." Yeah. And he pointed just to the one you said. It's funny you say that because we ended up winning by 3 or 4, I think. But it was we were losing 7-2 or
7-2 and 7-2. Yeah.
I think Chavi maybe got had a
2-run double, and the guy that really nobody wanted, John Mabry.
Is
he great? Or what?
He was huge in that streak.
He was,
and he got some time on that video, which was great because he had some huge home runs.
What he did, and that's all through that streak, and that he got a big 2-run double in that series, and I sat in the booth and I honestly thought, I said, it's over, because that late in the game when you're down by 5, you figure it's tough to come back.
There's John Mabry.
Oh yeah, he was great.
You couldn't get a fastball by that guy, and he was so good at pinch hitting.
And a great guy in the clubhouse.
Phenomenal guy in the clubhouse.
And Scotty, maybe you could talk about that because we're talking about today's team and the veteran leadership of Brandon and Johnny Gomes, a couple of guys, and having Justice and John Mabry, who I thought were great guys in the clubhouse. And someone reminded me that, remember, David Justice said, you know, you can't win 10 in a row unless you win the first one on the road trip.
He said you can't sweep the road trip unless you win. Unless we win the first one, right? So, and it became a mantra. He did it every single game after that. But you're right. It was a very youthful team, you know, and you know, like the team we're looking at right now is a very youthful team with a couple. You got Inge and Gomes, some of these older guys that are
veteran guys,
important pieces. Veteran guys. Let's say that.
Well, you were talking about Mabry pinch hitting. When you hit the home run, you were pinch hitting for Eric Burns. What was going on in your mind in the dugout as the game got later? And obviously it was a blowout early, so you may have been thinking, hey, I'm not going to get in this thing. But as it got late, it was close. And then when you got called to pinch hit, are you thinking, I could win this thing with a home run, even though Grimsley had the greatest sinker ever?
If you could have subtitled what I was thinking, it would not have been positive. I knew from facing the guy so many times, he throws such a hard, heavy sinker that all he can do, if you hit it, is beat it in the ground. I mean, it was just one of those things. So I really tried to think about, get a ball up, something I can get into, maybe a gap, and maybe get a double. A home run was the last thing on my mind.
Well, it looked like it was really up and out, almost maybe even out of the strike zone.
It was definitely up in the zone and kind of left over the plate, and it was just a pitch you could handle. And
how different would it have been if you used your old bat?
What are you talking about?
No. You told us that at the Fan Fest, so I'm just repeating.
No, you want that story? Well, I had that Louisville contract, right? And it's a 20-year contract, so you're stuck in it. And I knew I didn't have much of a chance against Grimsley, so I had this bat that a guy gave me. I think he made in his garage, and it was just so hard that I thought, heck, I need some help here.
Right.
I bring it up there, hit the biggest home run of my life. Cooperstown runs into the locker room, and he goes, hey, we need that bat. So I pulled out a Louisville Slugger.
This is it.
They found out about that story and sent that Louisville right back to me.
Said there's no pine tar on this bat. How come there's no marks on this brand new bat?
That's great.
Pretty good detectives there.
You know what? You can tell that story 10 years later.
But the thing, too, 10 years ago, they didn't authenticate everything.
True. They're on it.
You'd have been in trouble then because you would have had to, well, they would have authenticated your Louisville Slugger. Which, see, Louisville has been around forever.
I know.
That's the great thing about signing with them when you make the big leagues, give you a set of golf clubs.
Yeah, a set of golf clubs for 20 years. It's a Steven trade. I think I still have those clubs.
That's right. Yeah, they're antiques. They are antiques when you get them. But no, that was, and I think it was great to hear Roy Steele back tonight because he was instrumental in the PA system. But the late, great Bill King, it's been great to have him here. Vince Catrono's done a great job. Ken Clark taking over as the #1, but Bill King had some calls. And
he did, didn't he?
Such a great gentleman and brilliant man, too. And, you know, Coach, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it was crazy the way the whole thing turned out, because he and I were both saying 11-0, it's over.
Yeah.
With Huddy.
With Huddy.
Yeah.
KIPNIS will take care of it. Scott, thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Enjoy the guys, man.
Take care, guys. Okay. Take care. Thanks.
The bobblehead guy tonight, Scott HATTEBERG. We appreciate him stopping by. Is brought to you by Premium Rush, in theaters August 24th. Top of the third inning from the O.Co Coliseum. No score between the A's and the Indians. 6 up, 6 down so far for Bartolo Colon. Casey KOTCHMAN hitting .226 with 11 home runs, 42 runs batted in.
Sam Holbrook just realized, home plate umpire, this is Bartolo Colon, the strike throwing machine, at one time threw 38. So that outside pitch that wasn't called in the first inning caught the plate this time to KOTCHMAN. So inside with one, outside with an extra.
Goes out there again, just missed. There is Sam Holbrook. Andy Fletcher's at first, Rob Drake at second, and Joe West at third. So Joe West go over and shake Art Howe's hand before tonight's game. COCO over and in. He's got it. Fewest pitches per inning on average. Bartolo Colon. Shade over 14. That's pretty good.
That will get you deep in a game. Very deep in a game. King Felix Hernandez, of course, the perfect game from his last start. Kind of, speaking of umpires, we hope Greg Gibson is okay. He was spiked by Torrey Hunter in Anaheim, and Bill Miller have not heard after Miller had to leave the game the last homestand when the Angels were in town. But I thought it was interesting. We've talked about players wearing different types of cleats. Torrey Hunter said he thought he had metal cleats on when he spiked Greg Gibson. Fortunately, he had plastic cleats on, and he's kind of superstitious and evidently had the plastics on. So Greg Gibson very fortunate that when he unfortunately got spiked, and we're going to show it, and watch, he crossed his plate, see Greg Gibson there, and the spike came up. He was making the call and then got it in the side of the face, and he walks away with a cut to the left of his eye, and thank God it did not get into his eye, but had a smile on his face. But see how close it was to his eye. Well, Torrey Hunter said he thought he had metal cleats on, and fortunately he did not. They were plastic, which at least did not make as big of a gash or as bad as it was, but that was scary. But right in the best place to make the call, and it took the umpire in chief to make the call.
And it was a it was a close play.
Yeah. Because Gibson went down before he made the call, and here you have two managers.
Yeah, well, it's a run.
It was Cleveland and the Angels, and Chu made the throw in, and he's called out 5 minutes later.
Grounded toward Pennington. Hanahan is retired, and that's out number 2. So the first 8 hitters have been retired by Cologne, and here comes EZEQUIEL CARRERA. Carrera was called up to the big leagues when the Indians let Johnny Damon go. Damon was designated for assignment on the 3rd of August, and then Carrera called up. Indians AAA team is in Columbus, very close to Cleveland. And that is 9 up, 9 down for Bartolo Colon. Bottom of the 3rd, coming up. Pennington to lead it off. No score.
'12 postseason rights. How about that? August the 18th, we're talking about postseason. That is tremendous. Just place a deposit on 2013 A's ticket plan. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or go to oaklandathletics.com/deposit. Steve Finelli, the guys on ticket office, would love to have you call, email, and get some tickets, and especially think about 2012 postseason. Kai, who would have thought on August the 18th that we'd be talking about it? It's great to talk about it. The possibility of postseason. The A's right in the thick of things. The Rangers won this afternoon. The A's did pick up a game last night on the first place Rangers. They defeated Toronto today.
2-1 was the final. Yeah. So both games low scoring in that series. The Rays and the Angels are just about set to get underway. Down in Anaheim, Cobb for the Rays, Wilson for the Angels. 3rd game of that series. Rays won game 1 7-0. Rays won game 2 12-3. So you're the Angels. You're thinking, all right, you know what? We need to win bad. And they're struggling. I looked at their August record. The Angels are 5-11 in August.
Hard to believe. That's one club, as we've talked about August and September being the toughest months, the clubs to rise to the occasion. Thought the Angels would be the one club, and it's not over yet, but would never figure they would have the kind of record they do have in August.
There's your West standings, and that's with the Rangers win today, and then the wild card standings. The A's a half game behind the Tigers and the Orioles, who are tied for that 2nd spot. That one bounced over the mound. The shortstop Cabrera charges, throws, and it's not dug out by KOTCHMAN. And the A's have a leadoff base runner. Looked like that ball had a little English on it. Do you think, Ray?
Exactly. Off the end of the bat, Pennington from the left side out of the box very quickly. And we have talked all season about how this A's team hustle. They do not give up on the bat. Pennington out of the box quickly. And if he is not running hard, Cabrera, who's very good at shortstop, could have taken his time. But because of the hustle by Pennington, had to hurry. And KOTCHMAN very good at handling all kinds of throws. Had this one short hop, hit him in the heel of the glove. And just think about the first baseman's mitt, all gloves, and the heel of the glove is the hardest part, and he could not hang on. So good hustle by Pennington, and gets him at first.
Our Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort.
And Cabrera's going to get an error because of the hustle by Pennington. Says a lot.
So Weeks steps in. Bunts it toward first. KOTCHMAN is going to let it roll foul.
That's a base hit if he doesn't. And remember, JEMILE Weeks has done this. I can think of twice he's done it. One, the A's had a walk-off win against the Yankees. And he did it also in Chicago, and the A's got a run. He's bunting for a base hit, but also hopeful to get Pennington in the scoring position at worst. And with the top spin on the baseball, KOTCHMAN able to see it, that it was going to roll foul. Fix it up there. Pretty good chance that JEMILE's going to beat it out. So he just let it spin into foul territory.
Weeks was 0 for 4 last night.
And with the speed of JEMILE Weeks, and you're forcing the first baseman to make the play and the pitcher to cover, foot race, JEMILE's going to win.
To bunt again, and this one is picked up by the pitcher KLUBER, who flips to first. So Pennington to second on the sacrifice. Well, coming up on Sunday, September 2nd at 1:05, Red Sox and the Athletics, and it'll be Breast Cancer Awareness Day. First 10,000 fans will get an A's pink and white umbrella. For more information, go to oaklandathletics.com/ECA. That's Sunday, September 2nd, Breast Cancer Awareness Day. So runner at second. He's looking for a hit to take the lead. COCO hit a fly ball to center field his first at bat. Goes after the first pitch. Speaking of errors, Ray, the ball last night that we thought probably should have been a hit, the fly ball, CESPEDES, it fell, and they changed it after the game. It was Michael Brantley originally ruled an error, and they changed it after game to a hit, which we thought probably the right thing to do.
Should have been. And I think one of the changes, and it was changed, I think, by the official score without it being submitted. Now, certain plays can be submitted to Major League Baseball. Coco Crisp had a hit added to his total recently. You submit it to Major League Baseball, they review the play, and they make a decision whether or not it's going to remain as an error or be changed to a hit or vice versa, which I think is good. Which surprises me in Anaheim with the play at the plate. The catcher was given an error when there was never the play called safe or out.
Yeah.
And Donaldson was robbed of an RBI. Catcher was given an error, and the Diamondbacks had a streak of 15 games or something without an error. But
that seemed even more simple.
Exactly.
As far as it should be changed.
Yeah. Anytime an umpire does not make a call, you cannot assume an error. If he calls the player out and they drop the ball, it's an error.
Sure.
But you'll see an umpire, whether it's a play at the bases or at home, and they don't make a call until they're sure that the catcher and infielder has the ball in his glove, and then they make the call, which is the right thing to do.
Pennington lead at second. Cabrera, the shortstop, sneaking in behind him, trying to keep him close to the bag. It's now 2-2. This is
twilight, and Cespedes doesn't see it. Pennington's pointing, and the ball drops. And Cespedes was given an error because he did not throw up his arms and saying, I don't see it, I don't see it. And he doesn't see it. He's looking at Pennington. But when you can't see the ball, and Rick Manning, who's a great center fielder, said the same thing. You can't see it, can't catch it. How can you get an error?
I mean, it was pretty obvious that he couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, Pennington was as close to the ball as Cespedes.
Yeah.
But it's a hit, and it got changed to a hit. So we'll let
and it should have been.
Go.
It's not like it's, you know, it takes an unearned run away from Tommy Milone, becomes an earned run. But bottom line, it was a hit. Didn't take back Shelley Duncan grand slam.
No, certainly did not.
It was 4 runs, regardless whether it was an error or a hit.
2-2 is in the dirt, blocked by Santana. So 3-2 count. Donaldson will be next. He's a red hot hitter.
Well, that might factor into the type of pitch Coco Crisp get. Donaldson 5 hits in his last 5 plate appearances. And the act of making the call. First base is open. That call is really about the runner at second, and nobody's even close to Pennington. Cabrera the closest, and he's on the outfield grass.
3-2. Old foul. Coming up next half inning, Ken Maka's going to join us. It's always good to see the former A's manager. He's got his eye on us right now, so we better be good. Clean up our act a little bit. So another 3-2, but Coco's going to step out.
Great thing about Coco Crisp, when he gets 2 strikes, he waits a long time because kind of a flat-footed hitter does not stride, does not really look for a particular pitch, just almost waits till the ball gets on him and decides. That's the amazing thing. He creates such a powerful stroke as he did in Toronto, hitting the 2 home runs from the left side, almost flat-footed.
Santana pops out from behind home plate. He's going to talk to his young right-hander, Corey Kluber.
Pat, this is something we have talked about, that when a pitcher and catcher are on the same page, these things don't happen. We've seen him step off a couple of times this inning, and I would say that Santana has developed into a very good catcher and probably would have the confidence of his pitching staff that the pitch he calls for, they would throw.
Major League debut was against the A's last year.
This is just his 4th start of the season for the Tribe.
3-2 pitch is outside, and Coco Crisp works the walk.
Donaldson last night, base hit to right field, his first hit, got a hanging breaking ball, hit it against the wall for the second one, drove in a run. So he used the whole field as he does on this fastball to right field. Hits another breaking ball, pulls it to left field, and then gets jammed a little bit tonight with a fastball in. Another base hit to left field. And if you're going to be hot, you might as well stay hot. Don't just stop now with runners on base.
First pitch to Donaldson. Good speed on the bases. Fastball runs inside.
Hitters get the feeling that when they swing the bat and the result is a hit, they feel so good they can't wait to get to the plate, and no matter what the pitcher throws, feel you can cover the plate and hit anything and everything that's thrown.
He would be there now.
Exactly. Right
5 hits in his last 5 at bats. Runners go, the ball to the backstop, and it shoots right back to the catcher. But both runners were on the move, and the A's now have second and third.
What a great job by Donaldson. Pitch was out of the strike zone, but he faked the bunt to distract the catcher. He being a former catcher and an actual catcher himself, he sees that the runner's going. He's not going to swing the bat. And that's the beauty of seeing the runner at second. He pulls the bat back on the fake bunt, trying to distract Santana. Santana missed the ball. It did bounce all the way back to him. He might have gotten a pass ball if he hadn't been a double steal, because it went off his glove, but maybe distracted just enough. So the double steal infield playing back, so he can stay hot, put the ball in play, and maybe the A's can steal a run.
Two-0 pitch to Donaldson. He's in first strike. So if you were catching, would that be a bit distracting?
Yes. Yeah, when you see the bat go out,
it throws everything out of whack, right? Yeah.
It may distract you just enough that you might look at the bat in front instead of concentrate on baseball, because Santana clearly just missed it. And a ball that should have been caught, he wouldn't have had to play to throw out either runner, but at least he could have caught it.
Donaldson bounces one slowly towards short. It's going to get a run home. The throw to first is in time. So the double steal helps the A's get a run. So just like the Cespedes stolen base. That was last night, and that was a big play.
And this time of the game, the infield's going to play back. They're going to concede a run to avoid a big inning. And Josh Donaldson just trying to make contact. Got jammed again. Fastball in on his hands, but jammed him. And Cabrera, who was charged with an error to allow Pennington to reach first, makes the out with Pennington scoring, and the A's with a 1-run lead. But COCO, the trailing runner, he's usually the guy leading the stolen base. But Pennington got such a great jump, and COCO was right behind him. Not surprised to see COCO on the back end of the steal.
To Reddick. Reddick hit a fly ball to center field in the first inning. So the A's have grabbed the lead here in the bottom of the third, and they've done it without a hit. So the error allowed Pennington to get on board to lead off the inning, and he comes around to score.
The outfielders have not been involved in this inning. Reminiscent of the Kansas City to Jonathan Broxton game, in which the A's had their comeback and Johnny Gomes was hit. But it's amazing, in that game, Seth Smith and a ground ball to Escobar hustled, forced the error. That opened the inning for the Athletics to have their comeback victory, the first of the season.
One and two to Reddick. Reaches for it, a little cue shot foul past the on-deck circle. Angels have scored early tonight. They lead the Rays 3-0 in the second inning. Trout with a home run to lead off the bottom of the first. What a surprise. He's got 23 home runs, that Mike Trout kid.
That's his rookie season. He's trying to do it for 20 years.
Yeah.
He probably will.
What's the big deal, right? We're teasing.
Well,
I like watching Mike Trout play.
He has one thing that will never go into slump, and that's speed. The guys who can run can do so many things to avoid a long hitting streak.
Well, I think maybe the thing that's surprising a lot of people is the 23 home runs.
Right. You make contact, good things can happen, and he does everything.
Reddick checks his swing. So we'll keep a close eye on that game, obviously.
That's Reddick holding up his swing with Santana again blocking the ball in the dirt. That's twice in the at-bat. He's kept crisp at third base because of the blocking.
Setting up inside to Reddick. And it was up, and Reddick fouls it back. Well, we didn't see it, but it must have been a nice play by a fan, because, or maybe it was a vendor, because somebody got a pretty nice ovation.
He's got the baseball, but the vendor made the play.
We're saying the vendor made it and gave it to the youngster.
That youngster being said, you should see the catch I made at the Coliseum.
Reddick holds up, so now it's a full count.
There's a good deed. The vendor gives him the baseball. He gets a standing ovation, and he simply says, buy everything I have.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't just cheer for me. Buy my products.
I got a deal for you.
Hey, he's selling it now. Heck, they're going to buy it.
He's going to have a good night.
I hope so.
Reddick Drives one left center field. On the move is Carrera. He's not going to get it. Chris comes in to score. Reddick to second with a double. 2-0 A's.
Great battle by Josh Reddick. 9 pitches, and he went soft on the 3-2. And maybe thinking about first base open. High changeup. And Josh Reddick stayed on it, and Kluber knew it. See the great extension right there as the pitch was away from him. Instead of trying to roll over and pull the ball, he decided to just take his body forward, drive the ball to left center. And it's always great when an outfielder throws up his glove trying to dig somebody. Nice hitting. Mouth guard is not going anywhere.
That one went to left center field. Let's say Reddick's a dead pull hitter. He
a lot of
gets the bad head out there.
The important thing I think about that at that kind is that it was an off-speed pitch. Those are the ones he normally pulls. He normally gets out, but it was just a great shot of his approach where he went forward and he didn't open up. He decided with a pitch outside, just go with it. And he drove it far enough in the left center. So an error has scored, a walk has scored, thanks to a 2-out hit by Josh Reddick.
So that hit by Reddick is just the second hit in the game by the A's. So Cespedes steps in, 2-0. Breaking ball, and it was a hanger.
Hey, you might be tired. You might say, I've played a lot of games. You see a hanging breaking ball, those eyes get big as saucers, man. Just open up. And
I think it was saying hit me.
All over it saying hit me. Even Bud Siegel's signature was hiding. I'm afraid it's going to get hit hard.
Setting up inside, and it runs up and into Cespedes. Cespedes struck out in the first inning. That's the only strikeout for Corey Kluber. And that one's drilled to left. Carrera's back, and that baby is off the wall, bouncing back toward the infield. But I think that's a home run, and it is. Just over top of that out-of-town scoreboard, and Cespedes has given the A's a 4-0 lead.
And you remember the pitch that he almost crushed and was fouled back? Guess what pitch he got? The same one. Another hanging slider. And he absolutely crushed the ball. Joe West didn't move from third base. This ball hit so hard above the out-of-town scoreboard, just above the yellow line, which is a home run. And both he and the second base umpire, Rob Drake, finally made the correct call. What a crushed line drive.
So number 16 for Cespedes, give him 59 RBIs.
We saw a great note the guys put up. His average with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Well, he just increased it with a huge hit and a 2-run home run.
Breaking ball, that one in for a strike.
Not going to help Kluber or the Indians. But Bartolo Colon might have just received 4 unearned runs, because this inning should never have gotten to this point.
So Carter strikes out, but the A's strike for 4 runs. The final 2 on this swing of the bat by Yoenis Cespedes. A's lead 4-0. Top of the fourth, and on a night when we're celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the 20-game win streak, Ken Maka joins us. You were bench coach that year. Mock, good to see you.
I just looked at the monitor. Yeah. That is frightening right there.
What's that?
That is frightening. The three of us right there.
You mean the color of your hair and my hair? Is that?
That's probably true. That they do the white balance.
Come on. We see you on TV all the time. Come on.
That's right.
Breaking it down from the studio.
Well,
do you hear that term, white balance? He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he does. Right. He does.
Nice inning, last inning.
Oh, it's great. It's nice of you to be able to join your skipper this season and the guys for this 10-year reunion and visit.
I hadn't been here in 6 years.
Yeah.
And got off the plane.
6 years. Huh?
Looked at the beautiful sky. Nice temperature here.
Just like Pittsburgh.
Missed this place, you know. It's beautiful. Yeah, like Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Well,
100% humidity and 90 degrees. So.
Mark, it was in 2002, but Kip and I were talking about your strength. And we just wonder if Milton Bradley sends you a Christmas card every year for you saving him. Folks, I wish we had it. I don't know if we have the shot when Milton was going after the umpire and Ken Maka literally just picked him up.
Well, let's see it.
I hope he's got it, you know, because
I'll tell you what I do have, though. I don't know if you remember this, but Joe Blanton got himself caught in the bathroom down there in the dugout, and I kicked that door open.
Right.
Okay, that I've got on tape at home. That's
now you're black belt in what now?
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo. Yeah. And Milton Bradley was just heading to the umpire, and this strong man sitting between us just literally picked him up, turned him around, and sent him back to the dugout. That was a strong. I said simply, that's a strong man. You were and still are.
If you don't save him, he may not get that contract with the Chicago Cubs, which was.
You should have gotten at least 20% of that.
If he would have assaulted the umpire, it would have been there.
And he was heading that direction when you got him. That was amazing how quickly you got out there.
Well, you know what? Philippe Alou, a good friend of mine, he was a coach in Montreal when I played there. And I talked to him about Milton before we got him. And he told me, if you think something's going to happen, better do something. So I started thinking, as he rounded first base, I started thinking about it. So.
That would sit well.
On a gap there.
COCO on the run, and he cannot quite get it. And Cabrera makes the turn. He'll stop at second. So what are some of the things that stand out in that 20-game win streak? You were the bench coach, so you're tight with Art Howe, the manager. I mean, what were some of the things that popped into your mind when you think about that 3-week stretch?
Well, a lot of people have said the Detroit comeback was one of the big games, but that particular morning, I believe Mike Maroth was pitching for the Tigers that day, and I was sitting having breakfast, and it's August, and we weren't having batting practice, and Eric Chavez come up to me and said, "Hey, how about going in to Art, and I need a day off?" And I looked at him and said, "It's August, it's the pennant race, no days off, none." And so I'm like going in there, and you know what? He came up and had a big hit in the rally, and then I'm going to say about 2 weeks later, he kind of come up to me and said, "Thanks. That's
great."
And that's all part of being a leader by example. To go out there and play every day, and you had Miguel Tejada that did that for a long time, and talked about Terrence Long playing all the games in 2002. And then my 2 years in Milwaukee, Prince Fielder played all the games, and it garnered him a fairly big contract.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so if you can let ownership know that you're going out there every day and you're a contributing member, it helps you out a lot also.
Look what happened to CeCe Sabathia when he's traded from Cleveland to Milwaukee in their postseason run and pitching on 3 days.
Several times.
And so he goes as a free agent, and he made out well, but he's a horse, and so it worked out well. But that's a great point you make, and I think a credit to you as well.
Well, here again, I didn't interrupt you, but Barry Zito not missing a start.
That's right.
For all those years here.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing he's pitching a little better this year, and I am happy for Barry.
Absolutely.
Well, go ahead. I interrupted you.
I was just saying a credit to you that Xavi would come to you and talk about that, and for you to tell him, and it's true, you don't want to feel tired in August and September when you're in a pennant race, because he was a very important member of the club, third baseman, Gold Glover, big hitter, no time to take time off.
Right. He's going to help you win a game one way or the other.
And he had a big 2-run double. He and John Mabry in that 5-run innings. But I get a credit to you that you were willing, instead of going to Skipper and saying he needs a day off, you told him.
No days off.
That's right.
That's it. You're out there.
Ken, what did you learn from Art Howe, being his bench coach, that you carried into managing when you finally got a managerial job?
Well, Art, one of the things he said to me is don't ever assume that the players know what's going on. You have to make sure you go out there and teach every day and explain things to them.
Oh, wow. Sorry, Mark. We just have a Gold Glover in right field. It just made an unbelievable throw again. 13 assists for Josh Reddick, and that's why he just nailed one to the plate and held the runner at third, and maybe the A's will get a double play out of it. But this looked like it's going to be a run easily. But Reddick, look at the accuracy in the throw. One hop right to his catcher. Wow. Cabrera, I think he turned around. I think he realized it was going to be close, and he maybe slipped intentionally to get back to third. Maybe just enough to keep the double play in order.
That's impacting the game with the defense. Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the things Art taught me about never assuming that the players know, and make sure you explain things to them. And I kind of carried that over. Art was a very patient guy. He realized that there's going to be mistakes, and you just have to keep teaching. So we were fortunate to have a great staff. Ron Washington, the manager, myself, and Mike Quaddy. You got 4 major league managers there, and we were teachers of the game, and brought these young kids up, and they all learned a lot, and that's really how we learn.
Now you're saying something people might be saying, well, wait a minute, you're talking about major league players. You have to teach?
Oh, absolutely.
But I mean, you'd like to think that at the minor league level they're learning, so when they come up here.
Yeah, but you know what? Even you in your broadcast, how long have you been broadcasting?
Yeah,
you probably learn something every day.
Oh, that's the beauty
absolutely.
of it. Yeah. No, you do. But I think a lot of people, the perception that guys get to big leagues, they're major league players, and they know pretty much everything about it. So I think it's interesting that you would say what Art had said, that don't assume.
Yeah, don't assume that. And Art been in the game a long time and saw a lot of games. 22-3 years in the major leagues watching these games. Not that I played a whole lot when I was a player, but I watched a lot of games, and if you pay attention, you're going to learn things.
Right.
And for you to be able to go to these young guys that are coming up and transfer some of that knowledge. There you are. You called it, boss. Hey, you got a future here. You've got a future. There's a double play out of the inning.
So Cologne indeed gets out of the inning. We'll continue our conversation with Ken Mako when we come back. September 1st and 2nd, 2002. Tejada 2 walk-offs in a row was win number 18 and number 19 of the streak. The first, the 3-run homer, and then a single up the middle, both in the bottom of the 9th inning. And that was the MVP in the American League that year, Miguel Tejada, and those 2 hits certainly helped. So Tejada, he set a pretty good example too. He went out there and played every day.
Every day, every day. Yeah.
Came up with the big hits late, and HATTEBERG with the home run to win the 20th consecutive.
That's very comforting as a manager. You know you can put this guy in batting third, and that's it. You know, he's in there.
Right.
So don't even worry about it or think about it. So
A's with a 4-0 lead, bottom of the 4th inning.
Well, it's nice to see the A's, back in the hunt, and a lot of excitement here in the Bay Area with the Giants there too. I mean, that's a little reminiscent of when I was here and managing with the Giants and Barry Bonds being there, and I'm always contending. So a lot of excitement in the Bay Area for baseball.
Well, I think you, following Art Howe, and a credit to what you guys did and what this guy has done, Bob Melvin, and manager can make a huge difference. And in the case of Bob Melvin, the club was 13 behind the Rangers on June 30th. And then a 19-win month of July, and here they are. And Kite loves to put up the wild card.
Sure.
You're good, man.
As well.
But it's, again, the credit of the players playing for a manager. And I think that you and Art and followed, it's part of what the game is all about, how you play the game.
It gets back to the teaching too. As the year goes on, you learn a little more, and you focus in on what helps you win games. And the A's are hitting 230 or whatever their batting average is, but they're getting great pitching and playing solid in the field and not making a whole lot of mistakes. The guy pitched last night, pitched a good game, and he had a ball lost in the twilight, and if it wouldn't have been for that one pitch, 4 runs there, he pitched tremendous. So getting that good pitching keeps you in every game.
By the way, in case you didn't realize, that was changed to a hit.
Yeah, I did see that. Saw that in the paper.
We were questioning, but it's your golfing buddy back there looking for some strokes, Ken Korak. He's got a knee replacement, but he's probably still looking for strokes.
He probably is looking for strokes. He likes some of that money too. I think what happens is Art gets his, then I get Art's. See, so it gets kind of passed around a little bit. I think the other thing, just me observing, the turnover in the pitching staff has been tremendous. Yeah. And, some Art, my second year here, Kurt Young was the first-year pitching coach, and he's just done a tremendous job with these guys. Some of the pitchers that Andrew Bailey and Gonzalez, the quality major league pitchers being replaced and still not missing a beat. So Kurt should get some credit for that also.
Well, you're right, because remember, he went to Boston last year. You probably did some work. Were you still doing some work for this?
I didn't do it last year, but Terry had called me and asked me about Kurt, and I said that's a fine young man and a great pitching coach, and he'd be on my squad. So he was.
Yes, he was. Unfortunately, after the 1 year, he came back here and has done a tremendous job with the staff, which, as you mentioned, is new again this season. So you're living in Pittsburgh?
I do.
And doing what?
Well, a lot of people question, why do you live in Pittsburgh?
That's where you grew up, right?
Yeah, that's where I grew up. I've been all over the world, as everybody knows, and yet I still go back there. We live a stone's throw from Arnie Palmer's golf course in Lake Trobe.
Throw to second base, and in time to get Moss, who is off and running. Well, there's got to be some baseball excitement in Pittsburgh, huh?
That there is. And here again comes to the pitching. And they picked up A.J. Burnett. He's pitched very well for him. They made a trade at the deadline, and sometimes the best trades are no trades. I don't know, but they picked up Wandy Rodriguez. He hasn't pitched very well. So hopefully those are all because excitement in the city.
Right.
And you got, it's been 20 years or so since they've really been in a hunt. And you walk around the city now, people are wearing pirate shirts and hats. But still, the first 4 pages of the sports section are all Steelers. So, I mean, you're fighting it there.
But they've not had a winning season in 20 years.
That's
much
exactly
less being
over 500.
Yeah,
over 500.
Right.
Yeah.
Last year, Clint Hurdle had them close, and then they fell apart a little bit this year.
They won a big game last night against the Cardinals. So, yeah, that extra wild card team has a lot of places excited. Yeah.
2-2 pitch to Pennington is low, so full count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Do you miss baseball?
I do. I've worked the last 2 years, worked or whatever, given my time at the community college by my home. And we got 18, 19-year-old kids there.
Teaching.
Yeah, they listen.
That's right.
They listen. So
they better.
Something like that, yeah. I had there was last year when we first started our workouts, there was a young man in there, and I was giving him a little soft toss and giving him some instruction on his swing. And he went home to his mother and he said, "There's this old guy with gray hair. He's here. He's telling me this and that." And his mother said, "You know what? This guy's probably been around the game a little bit, so he might have something to offer." So the next day the kid went and he asked some of the other players, "Hey, who is that guy over there?" So they told him. So the kid went home and he told his mother, "Hey, Ma, you better Google this guy's name." See, so I think a little shocked that that I'd be, but I love baseball.
Yeah, that's great.
At that level with those kids at a community college, which is really cool, is the grandparents are there, the kids are there, the mother and father, the dogs are there. They're running the dogs out in the field, and I mean it's nice for the family, and it's time together and everything. So that's been cool the last 2 years.
And everybody but the kid knew who you were, but the kid had to Google you.
He had to Google. Yeah.
This guy at the plate right now, and JEMILE Weeks, when Chili Davis was hired as a hitting coach, Bob Melvin called JEMILE Weeks and said, "Just hired Chili Davis. Google it so that you know that he had 350 home runs as a hitter, switch hitter, which JEMILE is. He knows how to play the game, and so that you know when you go to spring training who the guy is."
Okay.
And it's helped him.
Well, I had Ricky Weeks, his brother.
Yeah, that's right.
A
little different.
Ken, thanks for stopping by.
Hey, great.
Great seeing you as always.
Taekwondo black belt.
There you go. All right. Look out, Milton.
Had wins for the A's during their 20-game win streak in 2002. Who were the 5 that had at least 3 wins?
Chad Bradford.
Chad Bradford probably had a few holds in there, if that was a statistic back then. Chad Bradford joins us in the booth. Chad, thanks for stopping by.
glad to be here.
How much fun do you have?
Oh, I'm loving it. Yeah, I haven't been here in 3 years. You know, when I was in Tampa in 09, I stopped by, did a little thing with you, Ray, and it's great to be back.
Why didn't you bring your boy up?
You know, I should have, but he's over there with my daughter. You know, he was here in the booth with you.
That's
I think he
right.
was about 6 years old or so.
He was so attentive. He was sitting between us, and he was the nicest young man I've ever seen, and he was so interested in broadcasting. And I was afraid that he's going to take my job. He was so good.
Well, I'm telling you now, he's a pitcher now. He's 17 years old. I've dropped him down sidearm. Yeah. But if that doesn't work out for him, he wants to be a GM. That's what he wants to do.
Wow. Now you have to clarify. The best at submarine. You're saying sidearm. Are you true side or is he submarine?
No, he's sidearm.
Okay.
He's not quite ready to be all the way down yet.
And you have to show people your knuckles because you would. The best part, when you went underneath and you hit the dirt, you see the dirt fly up.
Well, every now and then, I probably did it, a handful of times. Yeah. And a couple times during the game I did it, and it was a little bit embarrassing, to be honest with you, Ray. But the knuckles are cleaned up, and they're healed now, so I'm all good.
And you came to the A's after having back surgery, I guess, or were you in the midst of recovering? Because what was the real story as far as your back was concerned?
Well, I had surgery in the off season. I think it was November, and I got traded in December.
Right.
So, Billy called me and said, "Hey, you coming to the A's?" I said, "Well, I just had back surgery." "Oh, we know. Don't worry, we know." And so rehabbed and was able to get it going.
Turned out to be great, even with a bad back. That weak back is still.
That's right.
You never get over them, do you? As far as a bad back,
it's always something to deal with, But I'm doing okay with it now. I don't have to pitch anymore, so I feel pretty good.
Well, we're going to show you pitching here and talk about down under. Wow. But the best part is whenever you'd scrape your knuckles on the dirt. I mean, I know it was unintentional.
Well, I tell you, that was fun. Just watching that just takes you back. I mean, it goes by so fast, and when it's over, you wish you'd go back and just do it again for a day.
But at least you guys have a movie about it. I mean, not everybody has the luxury of saying, they made a movie about it. So what did you think of the movie?
I thought it was good. There were some parts that were a little bit, Hollywoodish, I guess you'd say. Overall, I thought it was pretty. How a lot of my players back home went and saw it. I thought it was so cool. "Coach, did you know you're in a movie?" I said, "Yeah, I know." But I thought it was pretty good.
Well, it's got to be kind of strange, though, having somebody play you. Were you happy with how they portrayed you in the movie?
I think Casey Bond did a great job. I mean, he called me during the filming and said, "Look, how do you throw that way, man?" I mean, and so we talked for a few weeks about that. And I kind of told him how to do that and how to look like I did. And I thought he did a good job with that.
How could anybody look like you?
Well, how'd you let go of the ball that low is what he was saying. But the good part about it was Casey Bond played baseball in the minor leagues, so it helped out.
That's good. Well, you were good and went on to Tampa and had some good seasons. But you have to stick around because I have one question I need to ask you and try to get the real answer. We'll find out when we come back.
Well, I'm intrigued as well. 4-0 A's as we head to the bottom of the fifth. Here's our AT&T trivia answer. 7 different pitchers had wins for the A's during their 20-game win streak. Who were the 5 that had at least 3 wins? All the guys you would think. Zito with 4, Hudson with 4, Mulder with 3, Corey Lytle with 3, Billy Koch.
Billy Koch
Snuck in there with a couple late wins.
Because you have to put the BS next to the wins called blown save to get a win for a closer. And he got the blown save in game number 20. That was a blown save in game number 20.
That's right.
I was telling Scott Hatteberg that when Luis Alicea got picked off at second, he might have gotten a loss too. But Alicea got picked off.
That's
two
right.
outs in the 9th inning. That's right. But anyway, I think one of the best times I had an interview, and it was the most serious answer I've ever heard in my life. What you did growing up, raising crickets.
I knew you were going to say it. Well,
Kipe, can you believe that?
No, I really want to hear Chad's explanation of the cricket farm.
And he was serious. The answer, and I'm sitting there, and I'm going, come on, man, you can't be serious.
Look, I'm dead serious.
Say cricket got him.
That's right. My first job, I worked at a cricket farm, feeding and watering crickets and growing cricket. Look, back home, everybody wants to go fishing for white perch, for brim, and so they use crickets. And I'm telling you.
How do you feed a cricket?
And you make a lot of money selling crickets in Mississippi.
Yeah, what does a cricket eat?
Well, I don't know what it was. It was a powder. I don't know what it was. But
you fed them?
Yeah, fed and watered, grew, and made the little boxes for them to live in. And I was 15 years old, first job, nervous, want to do it right. But looking back, when I went to New York and played with the Mets, that was one of the trivia questions. What was your first job, whatever. And they put it on the big screen, and then it came up, cricket farmer. I'm like, they used to call me the cricket wrangler.
Can you imagine the people in New York say, cricket farmer?
Right. What is that?
But I'll never forget that question, man. You were so serious. And obviously, you were serious because that was your job.
It was a real deal, right?
That was unbelievable. Any other interesting jobs other than submarine pitcher?
Well, that's it. It was the crickets, and it was getting people out.
But you're right about fishing, I guess. That's bait.
Well, that's right. Everybody uses it, and, there's a market for it, I guess.
Now, Ken Maka was talking about working and teaching, and you were telling me in between innings that you're doing some coaching, and tell us what you're doing.
The last 3 years I've been assistant coach at local high school, and this year I accepted a job be the pitching coach at a junior college. And so I'm excited about getting started and helping these guys. I went to junior college, and I'm actually going to coach at the same junior college I went to. So
Donaldson fouls out, so
and as a major league pitcher, and Mock was talking about one of the young kids having his mother Google him to find out who he was. But you now, as a major league pitcher with a lot of success, how about the kids that you're working with and teaching?
Some of the kids realize what I did, and I pitched 10 years or so, and other kids don't. But when the light goes off and they realize, they're like, oh, you're that guy. Because now the movie, a lot of kids have seen that movie, and they put me together with the movie more than they do watching me pitch when I was here.
But how much do you find that the kids listen to you, regardless of what you did, but this fact they want to learn, try to make themselves better to the point that they can get up here as well?
They will listen. A lot of kids don't realize what it takes and what they have to go through to get to the big leagues or even get a college scholarship, or get drafted. And so they will listen. They're very attentive whenever they realize where you've been and what you've done.
So 0-2 to Reddick. So you keep a close eye on the Athletics?
I do. My son Keller, like we talked about before, he watches baseball every day, all day, and so baseball's always on in our house.
That's great.
And he keeps up with everybody. So do I.
I was talking to Pat Neshek. You've probably seen him and his different style of delivery. How much do you think that helps, and to have that different look coming in out of the bullpen, especially for yourself with the down under look?
Well, anytime they're picking up the ball in a different spot, the hitter, you have the advantage. And the reception plays a big role in it also. Yeah.
Chad, it's great seeing you.
Thanks for having me.
Enjoy the rest of the week.
Enjoy the crickets.
Thanks, Ray. Going fishing.
Oh, looking cool. Look at it with the shades on. 53. That's great.
Bartolo Colon back to work. 4-0. The A's lead. It is the top of the 6th inning. Colon's been terrific. No walks, no strikeouts.
That's exactly the way he likes it.
I'd say that's a recipe for pitching deep into a game.
About 12 pitches an inning, which we showed earlier at 14, so he's a little bit ahead of that. Whenever I brought up the crickets with Chad Bradford, and you can imagine doing an interview with him and ask him what he's straight face, and I'm listening to him. I say, you can't be serious. You're talking about feeding and raising crickets?
Crickets?
How do you feed a cricket? and
I hated crickets. They kept you up at night in the Midwest.
Exactly. And he's talking in that straight face, and all the while I'm looking and saying, you can't be serious. And sure enough, can you imagine your first job at 15 is raising and feeding crickets?
No, I can't imagine. So Colon gets his first strikeout, 1 out. Here's our Chevron pitching matchup for the series finale tomorrow afternoon. Justin Masterson, who is 9-10, will be opposed by Jared Parker. So Masterson and Parker tomorrow, 12:30 A's pregame live. The ball game at 1:05. First pitch to EZEQUIEL CARRERA. Carrera, the 9th place hitter. He grounded out to second his first time up.
Nice to have Chad Bradford come in following Scott Hatteberg and Ken Macher with that Mississippi little draw.
Nice guy.
Very
Chad
nice
Bradford.
Very nice young man. And, you know, it says a lot about how much the A's thought about him because, as he mentioned, he'd had back surgery and then gets traded to the A's. And you never know with backs, having surgery, how they're going to be able to come back. And with his style of delivery, there it is, folks. That's the best right there.
So Carrera looks at strike 3. 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
Bartolo Colon always says, today's my happy day because I'm pitching, and you make a pitch like that, you're going to be happy. Fooling guys. Look at Carrera bringing the bat back, and the pitch nails the inside corner. Tremendous two-seam fastball.
Boy, that's a lot of fun.
Oh, and what he can do to make a ball move that much, it's phenomenal. Go back to the bat rack, shaking your head, and said, how's he doing it? He's throwing nothing but fastballs, but the movement on his fastball is one that's impossible to hit.
Well, it acts like a left-hander's slider.
Right. Or a screwball. I mean, you know, think of Fernando Valenzuela. You know, looked to the sky and threw the legitimate screwball. Mike Norris saw him tonight. He had a great screwball that he threw from the right side, but that's just a tremendous sinker.
2 pitches foul back.
Staying right inside with the same pitch. And remember to KIPNIS leading off the game. He went inside with that two-seamer. Didn't have the movement that he wanted, but now as the game's progressing, pitching the 6th, it's moving as much as it has all night.
So another 0-2 to KIPNIS. And that one just missed.
Bartolo did a 360 and waiting to see if he's going to get the call. Did not from Sam Holbrook. That could have been.
Toward first. Brandon Moss has it. Hustles to the bat. 3 up, 3 down inning. 7 in a row retired by Colon. Bottom of the 6th coming up 4-0 A's. It's time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. Coors Light Freeze Cam is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. It's the world's most refreshing beer. 4-0, the A's lead. Bottom of the 6th inning. Indians have gone to the bullpen for the first time. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Frank Herman comes in. It's the 4th appearance for Herman. Part of the Indians bullpen in 2010 and 2011. Now back in the big leagues here in 2012. Herman will face Cespedes, Carter, and Moss. Herman finishes up the warm-up tosses.
One of the power arms out of the Cleveland pen, 94-mile-an-hour fastball, slider and changeup. So actually he will throw the split-finger fastball as his change. But if there's one guy that handled both fastballs and off-speed pitches, Cespedes. The only Cespedes can. In a home run in Kansas City, a line drive to left center, and then tonight also a home run to left center. So more to left field. A bullet.
So Corey Kluber goes 5 innings. So 4 runs, all unearned runs. Boy, that error by the shortstop Cabrera, which was really a pretty routine ball. That got the 3rd inning started, and the A's scored 4 times. So he's taking advantage of a mistake.
And I think what fans, all fans would say, just show me that you're going to run hard and hustle. And that's what Pennington did. He ran 90 feet, ran hard for 90 feet, and sometimes you can force an error. Hustle will do that.
Chu is under it. You know, it's interesting. You saw that graphic, Ray. All the unearned runs allowed.
That's right.
But the Indians have only made 66 errors. That's the 4th fewest errors in the American League. So that tells me that the pitchers are not shutting the door after a mistake,
absolutely.
Right? I mean,
yeah. Well, the earned run average for the starters, unfortunately, during the 11-game losing streak was, what, 11?
Yeah.
I mean, it was horrendous. And, you know, when you have, in the case of a winning streak, probably more so than for the losing streak, you don't expect, if you have a good starting pitcher, that you're going to allow a long streak to continue. Somebody's going to be a stopper.
Yeah. And that's the Indians' problem is even Justin Masterson, who's a pretty good pitcher, he's not having a very good year.
I remember Derek Lowe started off great for the Indians, and unfortunately during the stretch did not pitch that well.
I remember saying to you early May, man, you see how well Derek Lowe is pitching.
Right.
He
started 6-1, something
I
like
think
that.
so.
Yeah, with a very low ERA.
Now he's in the bullpen for the Yankees. Waldo Jimenez, just not what the Indians thought they were getting when they made that big trade. Carter rips one fair. Got a hanging curveball, and he took advantage of it. So Carter into second with a 1-out double. So hit number 5 for the Athletics. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Cache Creek's Tropical Riches. Win cash and prizes daily through September 3rd. Visit cachecreek.com for details.
We talked about Chris Carter not open and how much he has changed, and I think he just proved it. A 2-strike curveball, and not a bad curveball from Herman, but Chris Carter just so quick with his short stroke that he hammered it down the left field line. And he simply says in so few words, the difference, confidence.
Yep.
Confidence, confidence. And you get up to this level and you start believing you belong here. Brandon Moss, the same thing. Shelly Davis is telling him, just be yourself. Don't try to copy somebody else. Be yourself and be the hitter that you know you can be. Helped him hit a 2-run home run in Chicago. He's getting another opportunity. A lot of guys don't get second and third opportunities to perform at this level. And Moss trying to take advantage of another opportunity he's been given.
Moss tonight hit into a 3-6-3 double play in the second and then singled in the fourth. He was caught stealing after the single. KOTTARAS will be next. And that one got a piece of the catcher Carlos Santana, so he's going to take a break.
Oh, first base looks so good. That's why Josh Donaldson was so quick to tell us last night in the post game. Do you miss catching? No, I feel good after playing 9 innings at third. No bumps and bruises, but check the left side of Santana. Left shoulder, foul ball, misses his glove.
Misses the padding, of course. Why would it want to hit the padding, huh?
Oh, no.
Nonsense. Can't hit the padding.
Try to move his left shoulder and get some feeling back in it.
1-2 to Moss. 2-2 to Moss.
Carlos Santana has the chest protector. A lot of times you see chest protectors, the padding on the left shoulder, which is the non-throwing shoulder, but you'll also see as he is wearing the right shoulder. It's kind of a flexible, so it's not going to interfere with his throwing, but usually it's just the protection on the left shoulder, nothing on the right, and that's the one you hope you don't get hit because it's your throwing line. But he's got some protection, but as always, it will miss the padding.
Moss has worked it full. Angels with an 8-0 lead over the Rays in the 4th inning. So after getting knocked around the first 2 games in that series, the Angels are trying to make a little statement in game 3. Two pitch to Moss, and he gets him swinging, and that's out number 2. We'll celebrate the 10th anniversary of the historic 20-game win streak tomorrow. First 10,000 fans are going to get a "There Is an A in Streak" t-shirt, courtesy of Cache Creek Casino Resort. For information and tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com. So that'll be tomorrow, final game of the series. 2 outs for George KOTTARAS. We'll talk about an Angels game, Ray. I think what the Angels need more than anything is a good start from C.J. Wilson. He has not pitched well lately. In fact, his record 9-9 coming in, and it's been a while since he has won a game.
Not what the Angels had expected when they gave him a lot of money. 5-year contract, less than what Jared Weaver signed for, because Weaver is the favorite and the #1 starter. But still, a very good contract for C.J. Wilson. You can see in the start that he made here against the A's that he wasn't.
He didn't look right. Yeah. 1-1 to KOTTARAS, who has grounded out and hit a fly ball to right field. Get outside from Frank Herman.
Herman proved that when you have a good fastball, and his is about 94, 95, that in the case of Brandon Moss, 3-2, he just challenged him. When you throw a hitter a 3-2 fastball, it doesn't guarantee it's going to be hit hard. And that's why it's sometimes surprising with that kind of a fastball. You see guys throwing change-ups and sliders and curveballs when they can just air it out and let it go.
Down low again. So 3-1 to KOTTARAS. Carter at second. He had the 1-out double. This one's hit very high and fouled on the right field line. It's one of those swings where you think you're going to get a fastball, and you do.
Yeah.
And you take a very healthy Cub. So 3-2. That one's bounced into right field of A-Sid. Chu's got a good arm. He comes up throwing. Here comes Carter, and he slides in just ahead of the tag. So KOTTARAS has an RBI single, and the A's lead 5-0.
He got another 3-2 fastball, and this time able to find the hole. And Greg Herman provided the power in between KOTCHMAN and KIPNIS, the second baseman. And Mike Gallego, you just have to figure that's a 2-out hit. Can you get another one? So he's going to send the runner Chris Carter, and KOTTARAS has a 2-out run scoring hit. Gags knows the game, and that shows it there as he had the arm pumping, and it helped with 2 outs that Chris Carter could break on contact. Santana with the left foot, and Carter going around the tag, similar to what Moss did last night. Remember a couple of years ago, Santana blew out his knee trying to block the plate incorrectly. Kind of put his leg out and got it crushed with no weight behind it. Sandy Alomar Jr., the Rookie of the Year, great catcher for the Tribe, working with him. Strong throw by Chu, but just for the fact that it was a 2-out, 2 strikes, and Carter was on the move, although not the runner first. He was not running on contact, or at least running on the pitch, but on contact he did, and that might have been the biggest difference. Rubbed some of the speed of Coco Crisp into his own.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been a throw with Coco.
Pennington hits a pop-up shallow left field. Carrera gets under it. He's got it side retired. A run on 2 hits for the A's. We are headed to the 7th. 5-0 Athletics. McDonald's. This date 10 years ago, the A's historic 20-game win streak hits win number 5. Terrence Long homers twice against the White Sox. Barry Zito collects win number 17. There's Barry. And A's beat the White Sox 7-4 that day. So the win streak sat at 5 on this date 10 years ago. So it wasn't a big deal just yet. 5, yeah, we're playing well. You get to 10, then you got some action, and then after that,
Jim Messier.
First pitch swinging is ASDRUBAL Cabrera. He grounds out. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here's our Geico quote. Comes from Manager Art Howe after win number 19 on September 2nd, 2002. When Cooperstown calls you, you know you're doing something special. It's something we'll probably realize is more phenomenal when it's over. We don't want it to end. I wouldn't put anything past these guys. The atmosphere is fantastic. So that was after the base hit by Tejada up the middle in the bottom of the 19th inning, or bottom of the 9th inning for win number 19.
The skipper Art Howe's wife Betty in town, of course, manager for the A's and now living in Houston. And as he told us last night, with the Astros coming into the American League West, we're going to see Art Howe.
Well, he better come see us next year 3 times.
Well, the first thing he said, I got the golf courses, and Art's a very good golfer. Very good. Van Bosley is hitting coach behind him. And there's T. Long, just showed him hitting the 2 home runs. City skipper Art Howe just still watching, even though he's just watching from a suite. Still paying very close attention to what's going on, as Ken Maka did when he was with us.
Oh, 2 to Shin-Soo Choo. 8 in a row retired by Bartolo Colon. So he is locked in with a 5-0 lead. Line drive into the glove of Moss. Out number 2. Get a few atom balls here and there.
Moss hooking away from Brandon Moss, but very quickly put the glove down as it continued to hook away from him, but able to catch it and rob True of a double.
So here's Santana. Big at bat in this game was Santana in the 4th inning. Now it was a 4-0 game. The Indians had runners at 1st and 3rd, and Santana hit into a double play, and he's going to hit this one out of the ballpark. Carlos Santana gets the Indians on the board with his 13th home run of the year. You start thinking Coco's going to catch everything.
Yeah.
I think he got close to that one.
Fastball running away from Santana, but very aggressive swinging. And had a pretty good idea. He's going to get a fastball. He did, but with the Xfinity sign, 388 and a home run. Yeah, Coco's got always a chance to catch something that's close. Great leaping ability. In Chicago, Colon finally gave up a home run with somebody on base. Everything else been solos. In the opposite field by Brzezinski, strangely.
Michael Brantley with a base hit.
Coco scaling the wall, and that is some elevation.
Now batting, number 47, Shelley Duncan.
So Shelley Duncan will hit.
All of a sudden, the left shoulder by Carlos Santana doesn't hurt as much.
It's going to feel a little bit better. Shelley Duncan, a fly ball and a ground out. Swing and a miss at the changeup. So every once in a while, Colon floats one of those babies in there. How can you not think he's going to throw anything else but a fastball?
Happy man.
83 pitches.
7th inning for Bartolo Colon. Gets a home run, then a base hit to center field. Backdoor 2-seam fastball. Remember last night, Shelley Duncan hit the grand slam off Tommy Milone?
Yeah.
I asked Shelley today, I said, what would have happened if you got the changeup? He said, I was looking for it, surprisingly. But he said, I don't know how he hit the fastball, but it happened to be inside to him, and he just dropped the head of the bat on it, hit the slam. But he was thinking changeup, and give him credit, because I thought he'd been way out in front of it. But maybe he would have, maybe he wouldn't. Shelley did say the one thing that had helped him is Tommy Milone threw him the fastball. The 4 runs he gave up all turned out to be earned, but Shelley said the biggest thing for he and his brother Chris taking fly balls on this field while his dad Dave was a pitching coach for Tony La Russa.
That one is skied on the infield. Moss is up. He's got it. Side retired. So home run by Carlos Santana. 7th inning stretch. The A's with a 5-1 lead. Big crowd tonight. Wow, look at that blanket. That's awesome.
Look at Bernie back here. That's great. Huddy in the middle, Zito and Mulder, the 2 lefties on the side.
That's pretty cool.
That is great.
Yeah.
That's great. Nice that Barry Zito had a video tribute to the team that he played for in 02 and the 20-game win streak.
So Frank Herman back to work. 2nd inning of work, gave up a run in the 6th. He'll face Weeks, Crisp, and then Donaldson. Fifth inning down in Anaheim, still 8-0 Angels over the Rays. Tonight, a sacrifice bunt and a fly ball to left field, so 0 for 1. Just a touch low. The Rangers won today, beating Toronto 2-1. Boy, Oswalt started that game. He did not get the win. He pitched into the 5th inning. Nelson Cruz with a 2-run homer for all the runs the Rangers would need. Boston beat the Yankees 4-1. Lester the win. Phelps the loss. Gonzalez homered for Boston. Granderson hit his 32nd home run for the Yankees.
The Grandy man, he can. That's good.
So 3-2 now to Weeks. Baltimore beat Detroit 3-2. That's a big battle with teams near the top of the wild card race. So that series tied at a game apiece. That was Cody Allen heading down to the bullpen. And there's the walk.
Come on, Jamal.
Pretty sure that's a walk.
That's what I did.
I'm almost positive that's a walk. Jemile's not sure it's a walk. There we go. We got action.
I was going to say it's.
So leadoff runner board. Here's our Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray.
Why don't hitters walk to first on ball 4? Oh, is that not the question? Okay.
I cannot answer that. Arjeen from Auburn asks, can you compare Griffin, Straley, and Parker to Hudson, Mulder, and Zito in that era?
Wow.
Probably not fair to do that.
No, it's not. Not fair to either group. Because as Art House said last night, remember the big three struggled in their first season. But these kids are going to be good. Straley there, Milone, and A.J. Griffin. You had Parker in there who's pitching tomorrow. So a very, very good young staff in the Athletics. And when A.J. Griffin comes back, remember Brett Anderson is very close to coming back.
I think the group that the A's have now certainly could get to that level.
Absolutely.
And I think seems like now the A's probably have more young pitching depth.
Yeah.
Not just at the big league level, but even in the minor leagues. Maybe more young pitching depth than they had back then. But they had the 3 guys that were all aces.
Exactly.
First pitch to Coco Crisp is high.
And when you're pitching in a group that's called the Big Three, 3 aces, I mean, that says a lot. Michael Norris was down below when Billy Martin had the 5 aces, when he had a 5-man rotation that included Michael Norris, McCaddy, Keogh. They were 5 and they were good. But this group of youngsters that the A's have now, like you said, they have a chance to be very good. And when you see them pitching as well as they are right now in their first season, you just look forward to the time when they get some experience, some innings under the belt at the major league level, and how much better they're going to be.
Chu is going to get there right near the line. And he guns it back to first. Weeks is back. So Coco Crisp is retired. So 1 out for Donaldson.
Good look at a staff. We saw John Smoltz in Chicago last Sunday, and Smoltz, Glavine, and Maddox. 3 guys are probably going to the Hall of Fame. That'd be a nice threesome to have in the start.
Yep.
Every 3 days, every 5 days.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Ladies and gentlemen, now pitching for Cleveland.
Sportsnet California is brought to you by Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers. And by Jack in the Box. Get the all-American Jack Combo at Jack in the Box. It's a no-nonsense burger with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores.
One out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Indians bring in another right-hander, Cody Allen. So Allen, interesting story. He was drafted last June, 23rd round. Pitched at 3 different levels last year, and he's in the big leagues this year, his 11th game.
94, that'll get you to big leagues fast. And he does have a good fastball.
So 6'1", 210-pounder Cody Allen out of the bullpen. Donaldson is 1 for 3. He had a single in the 1st, an RBI ground out in the 3rd, and he fouled out in the 5th. He's seeing Cody Allen. Pitch is high. So Frank Herman goes in inning and a 3rd. Runner at first. Weeks is his responsibility. .30 pitch is in for a strike. We mentioned that Orioles win over the Tigers. Tigers had a 2-0 lead, but Chris Davis hit a 3-run homer in the 7th inning, and they hung on and got the win. So Baltimore 3, Detroit 2. A couple of the teams that are just barely ahead of the A's in that wild card. That one bounced into right field, a base hit. So Donaldson kind of has the magic wand going right now. He just poked that one through the right side.
It's a 93, 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and at the leg kick, and a huge hole over there with KOTCHMAN holding Weeks at first base. And why try to pull a 94-mile-an-hour fastball when you can take it to right field? If you're left-handed, go to left field. But Josh Donaldson has realized more and more, a lot of hits to the right side. You're going to see those numbers continue to increase.
So Reddick has a chance to knock in a run. He did that in the 3rd inning with a 2-out RBI double. Reddick, and the breaking ball dropped low. All right, here's your updated. Now that's with a Orioles win and a Tigers loss. Angels winning big, A's winning here. Continues to be a very tight race.
And with the extra wild card and the number of teams involved, there'll be a lot of scoreboard watching, and right down to the end of the season. And I think it might, Kipe, I think, minimize the number of September call-ups for certain clubs. Now, I've talked to some managers along the way, and Robin Ventura said in Chicago, he said, unless somebody can come up and help us, I don't want them just here, because it breaks up a club, plus big expenditure for a club. Robin said, and I'm sure it's the same for all clubs, with the minimum salary, the traveler expenses, it's about $100,000 to bring somebody up in September.
I don't know. Do you agree with me? I'm not crazy about the whole roster expansion in September. It just seems strange to me that you play 5 months with a 25-man roster.
I agree.
And you got roles, and then all of a sudden, you can have as many players as you want.
Well, and the clubs that can afford to bring up a $100,000 player for the month may be able to pinch run. Or in the case of a team, the Yankees, of course, always comes up, because if they have a big enough lead, they could rest guys down the stretch, let them play 3 or 4 innings, and bring somebody else in.
It just seems strange that it really does change how you manage.
That's right.
You can pinch. I mean, if National League, you can pitch hit whenever you want, because you got plenty of players.
That's right. No, I agree. And there's been someone that suggested you can bring all you want, but still a 25-man roster every game. You want to bring guys up and let them work out, and maybe you want to interchange.
Or what about this? Put a limit. All right, you can have 2 more guys. Every team. 1 pitcher, 1 position player. I mean, it just seems strange that all of a sudden September 1st comes.
The clubs that don't want to spend the money would love that, because a lot of times, and I think it's going to maybe not be as common, a player might get a call in September as a reward for having a good minor league season. We reward you by bringing it up for the last month, and you may not play. Well, for that player, it's going to set him up all season for 1 month salary after playing 5 months in the minor leagues. And more power to the player for being able to be a part of that.
Well, I've heard of this happening, Ray, where kid gets drafted, high draft pick, and they're close on the financial figure, but not quite close enough. And the team says, all right, you know what, we'll bring you up in September. You'll make that extra money.
Yeah.
Boom, sign the deal, and the kid gets called up in September.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, well, the kid's only been in the minor league. What's he doing here? Well, that was the way to bridge the financial gap.
Then the old service time kicks in. Yeah,
exactly.
That's what clubs sometimes don't want to do that. And I think, too, with draft choices, you don't have to put them on Major League roster for a couple of years so you can protect them without having to give them a Major League contract and the options. So it's all a big process, and you have to know what's going on. And we were talking about Brett Anderson in Kansas City. A pitcher, starting pitcher, has 30 games, position player 20. And because a starter pitches every 5th day, he can stay longer on a rehab assignment. But for position players 20, because he figured he's playing every day. So Brett Anderson's close to the end of his.
Oh, foul with Brett Anderson. Threw a bullpen session today. Threw about 40 pitches. Not a decision made officially yet on when he's going to join the rotation. So when we hear of that decision, obviously we'll let you know. But I got to believe he's getting close.
Yeah.
And today it was just a bullpen session, so we'll see.
But the clock started when he went to the minor leagues to start his rehab assignment. Calendar, clock, whatever you want to call it.
Little pop-up, Hanahan going back, and then the shortstop, Cabrera, takes over. So that's out number 2.
Chevrolet is driving more value this season with Chevy Free Parking Tuesdays. Every Tuesday home game, with the exception of premium games and build events at the arena, you'll pay nothing. That is nothing to park, courtesy of Chevy. See your Northern California Chevy dealer for their award-winning lineup of Chevy cars, trucks, and crossovers. For more information, visit OaklandAthletics.com/Tuesday. And assuming there's nothing going over in the arena on Tuesday, the Twins will be in town. And we expect a sellout crowd with free parking. How great would that be against the Twins on Tuesday night?
That's right. I'll take 20,000.
You got 30 plus tonight.
That's right. 30,132 is the attendance tonight. Some of those folks are going to stick around and watch Moneyball on the field.
You know, the way this club is playing, should have this attendance every night. It'd be great to have the crowd like this at every game. Players love it. Fans get into it. And when you have the lead, as the A's do in this game, trying to win their 2nd in a row against the Tribe and 3rd overall after Thursday's win in Kansas City. I like it.
So you'll be able to sit out on the field tonight and watch Moneyball. Drop a big screen from out in center field. Get a blanket, dress warm, enjoy the movie. Cespedes, base hit left field. Here comes Weeks. Carrera's throw, just a bit late, and the A's lead 6-1. Cespedes with his 3rd RBI of the night.
I don't think Yoenis Cespedes is tired. This is a 93-mile-an-hour fastball outside, and he just went out and raked it to left field. Great top hand swing. Jemile Wicks with his speed, although the throw is close, he runs through home plate. And Chris Carter, the on-deck hitter, should have been around more direct in line with Weeks running, so he could have told him. He might have needed a slide. That was a very close play, and you don't want a catcher to deke a hitter, to decoy him thinking there's no play, and all of a sudden drop the big knee on him and hurt him by not sliding. The big hit by Cespedes is he's had a big night.
Well, I got 5 of the 6 runs coming with 2 outs. Is that correct?
Exactly right. Yes. Reddick doubled, the 2-run home run by Cespedes, and KOTTARAS last inning, Cespedes in this inning. So those are the big hits.
You want an updated score, right? Angels 8, Rays 7, top of the 5th.
No. Mike Scioscia going to the mound for C.J. Wilson.
And he is coming out.
Well, that's really the magic of the Tampa Bay Rays. And you know, they're a club that has a lot of starting pitching, a lot of pitching in general, and maybe just enough offense. So tonight they need more than 8. I guess they find a way to do it.
Angels got 14 hits in the first 4 innings.
Wow.
And it's 8-7.
No such thing as a laugher anymore.
Oh, boy. So, we'll keep an eye on that one. It was 8-0. Now it's 8-7. Two and two the count to Chris Carter, who has had a walk and a double and a run score. Fouls it straight back. The Royals won again. They beat the White Sox for the 2nd game in a row, 9-4. Chen over Peavy. So the Royals, we saw, they beat the A's 2 out of 3. Royals have won 9 of their last 13.
That franchise, that team is going to have something to say about the Central Division.
That's
very
a good
soon.
call. Center field, Brantley reaches out at the last minute, makes the catch. A's get a run on a couple of hits and a walk. We're headed to the 8th inning. 6-1 Athletics. California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Whether it's a steam train through the Redwood Forest or the beach train to Santa Cruz, Roaring Camp is the ride of a lifetime. RoaringCamp.com. He's trying to make it 2 in a row over the Indians. Bartolo Colon is rolling along. Did give up the home run to Santana in the top of the 7th. Chris Seton starts to loosen up, the left-hander for the Indians. So KOTCHMAN, Hanahan, Carrera. Fastball, touch outside. KOTCHMAN has hit a pair of fly balls to center field. And that one is going to get through up the middle for a base hit.
Time now for the Home Depot doing more on defense. We talk about Bartolo Colon. Watch his movement on this ball. Hit by Kipnis. Cover over there, big boy, and beat him perfectly. Touch the bag, and that's your nice 3-1 put out. From Brandon Moss to Bartolo Colon. Very athletic. A little smile. So why do you make me run like that? But he's in shape. Sadly for him, he's got to wait 4 more days to be happy again.
So he'll be happy in St. Petersburg. Levens cranks it up as Hanahan steps in. One more note, Ray, from that White Sox Royals game. Adam Dunn hit his 35th home run of the year. That's right. Career home run number 400. So congratulations to the big fella, Adam Dunn. 400 career home runs. So he and Konerko both
same year. That's right.
So that's a huge milestone, and Dunn will get to 500 as well.
Yeah. Big Papi also with his 400th this year here at the Coliseum. So 2 of the guys got the 400th here in Oakland. And George KOTTARAS out to visit with Bartolo Colon to allow Jerry Blevins to get loose maybe a little quicker. And Bartolo, as long as he's been around, he knows why KOTTARAS went out there. And he said, I know, you can go back now. You've bought enough time. I'll throw some strikes.
Floats that one in there. Hanahan, a ground out and a strikeout. The Rays scored all 7 of those runs in the top of the 5th inning. The Angels now batting in the bottom of the 5th. Cespedes coming in. He's going to get there. He's got it. So Hanahan is 0 for 3, and that's out number 1 here in the 8th.
So the trip to the mound by George KOTTARAS was unnecessary because Bartolo came back and threw 2 strikes, got the pop up by Hanahan, but that's what a good catcher does. You get 3 pitches out of the strike zone, go down and maybe just to slow down the pitcher. Wow.
Carrera takes low. I think Colon has given more to the team than just his win total this year. But how could you not learn something watching him pitch?
Well, by him staying healthy all season, which we hope that is the case the remainder of this month, the next month, and as the 3 rookies looking on, Parker, Straley, and Milone. You have to be able to learn. We saw in Anaheim what happened.
Donaldson the second for 1, and Weeks on the exchange loses control of the ball. So KOTCHMAN will be out at second base.
It's got to be tough to turn 2 anyway for Donaldson to charge and then back across his body to throw to second base. Carrera gets down the line very quickly, almost just make sure you catch it. He comes across the bag and his transfer and never had the baseball. Second baseman spin, and Bob Melvin maybe just to ask how Bartolo's feeling because he is running out to the mound. He's making a change. That's something he normally does not do, and I think that Colon and the skipper has said. Look at them all.
See Pennington. Pennington has. Are you tired? Watch Pennington, Ray. Watch. Are you tired? There's KIPNIS, who takes a strike.
But you know, as I started to say, last year, maybe broke down a little bit towards the second half of the season, but so far Bartolo has been very healthy, with the exception of that one 15-day disabled list in June. But it's going to open up the market for him, because as this season has progressed at the trading deadline, there are clubs that were interested in him for a number of reasons, not just as a starter, maybe as a bullpen reliever, but the fact that he has stayed healthy and continues to pitch. I mean, he marvels. I mean, club scouts marvel at the way he just continues to pitch so effectively. This is the 8th inning for him.
Well, 2 pitches a bit outside. So you don't think he'll be thinking about retiring then after this?
I don't think so. The happy man, as happy as he is, and the way he can pitch, very consistent throughout the season.
Another foul ball left side.
You know, as a hitter, it's very frustrating, because you'd rather see somebody like Herman that comes in, throws 95, or Allen throws 95. When you have a pitcher on the mound and you're a hitter, and he's moving the ball around, manipulating the velocity and the movement on the baseball, it's so frustrating, because you cannot sit on a certain pitch trying to do anything.
Inside, just a touch. 2-2 to KIPNIS.
That was only 87. If he throws a hard one now and gets the movement that he wants, he just tried it there. KIPNIS threw up his arms a little bit late. The ball was already by him.
And he did get him. 3rd strikeout for Cologne. Little slap of the hand into the glove, and Cologne strides off. 8 dominant innings for the big right-hander. Bottom of the 8th coming up.
Are you tired?
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Big double play there Bartolo Colon got. Covered the bag a little bit. Colon, 8 innings tonight. Just a Carlos Santana home run. The only run he's given up. So Colon trying for that 10th win of the year. He's got a pretty good chance of getting it. The A's leading in this one by a score of 6-1. 1-5-2 for the Indians. 6-8-0 for the Athletics. So Cologne, bullpen is quiet right now, but they probably wouldn't start loosening up for another batter or so. So we'll see if Cologne goes out. New pitcher for the Indians, it's the lefty Chris Seddon. It's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Oil Change, Tune-Up, and Smog experts. So Seddon comes in. Facing Moss, KOTTARAS, and Pennington. Cologne heads into the clubhouse. Strike called 2-1 to Brandon Moss, who's 1 for 3. So Seddon, one of the 2 left-handers the Indians have down there. One hopper to Cabrera, who throws in time. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And Chad Bradford talking about the different look and we have seen with Pat Neshek as far as his sidearm delivery, and Matty Acker brought in Herman and Allen, guys throwing mid-90s with a fastball, and here comes Seddon in for the left side. Much slower velocity. So, you know, the changing the looks of the relievers coming in out of the pen, especially for the different hitters. Remember a lefty by the name of Don Hood, pitched for the A's back in Brothers of My Time. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Don.
Same number.
That's right. Stylish left-hander, tall.
So I remember him pitching for the Indians. He pitched for the A's as well?
No, Indians.
Oh,
Did I say
okay.
I meant Indians? I might have said A's.
That's a good call. Yeah. I was going to say he had long hair in the back.
Yeah,
everybody had long hair in the back in the 70s. Don Hood.
Pat Dobson on that staff. Jim Bibby.
Big Jim.
Eck. Nobody could hold runners.
You remember that?
No, that's yes. He can't throw anybody out. Well, I throw to third to cut them off because they just pass second. They just keep running. No, they were good pitchers though. Different styles.
2-2 pitch inside to KOTTARAS. KOTTARAS had an RBI single in the 6th inning. And now he's got a walk. So 1 out base runner for the A's here in the bottom of the 8th. We'll go deep with Sportsnet Central. It's brought to you by Hyundai. It's tonight at 10:30 on our sister station. Highlights and clubhouse reaction from the A's Indians game here at the Coliseum. Highlights from all around Major League Baseball and the 49ers. Highlights from their exhibition game tonight against the Texans. But tonight here at the O.co Coliseum, A's in charge. 4-run 3rd inning. Got things going. Pennington takes a strike. That walk to KOTTARAS, the 5th walk Indians pitchers have issued.
And good news for the A's, a couple of those walks have scored. That's always a good sign when you get the free passes.
Pennington reached on an error in the 3rd. Scored a run, also stole the base in that inning. He walked in the 4th, hit a fly ball in the 6th. So 0 for 2.
Eric Sogard still on the stable list, but he is starting to feel better after his lower back stiffness.
Pennington swings at a high fastball.
One of the best deals for baseball fans anywhere is Bart $2 Wednesdays. Every Wednesday this season, you can get a Plaza Outfield or Plaza Reserve ticket for just $2. The tickets for Bart $2 Wednesdays at the Coliseum box office by phone at 877-493-BALL, or to order online, visit OaklandAthletics.com/Bart. Bart, and you're there. One of the best things about Bart $2 Wednesday is the music, is the Bart race.
That's right. It's a good call. It's a good call.
It's good music.
So Weeks takes a strike. JEMILE officially 0 for 1 in the game. Base runners all over the place. In fact, the Indians pitchers had 1 3 up, 3 down inning. That was the 5th. 8 hits for the A's, 5 walks issued. And that one just missed, 1 and 2.
They shot a maniac to the manager, and of course, nice run until they had their 11-game losing streak, and back to the late third score. Great pitcher, great broadcaster for the Indians, and we're hoping for positive things to happen. And for so long, Herbie Broadcasting did not have a winning season. And Maka talking about the Pirates, somewhat 19-20 years without a winning season. And third score was always positive, and even as a manager, see a team struggle and try to look for some of the positive things, especially for the future of the club. Third score always put a positive spin on a game that had to be hard to broadcast, especially as on some of those teams that were losing.
Well, and then it wasn't his last broadcast. The '97 World Series, which the Indians lost in the bottom of the 9th inning to Florida. Right. I think that was his last telecast.
Right. Yeah, because they were 1 out away. Jose Mesa just couldn't close it out, but Herb was great left-handed pitcher. Unfortunately, line drive hit him in the eye. What a great man.
Runner goes, 3-2 pitch. It's hit foul. Good battle here between Weeks and Seddon, the left-hander.
Not as many Yankee fans and Boston fans, but the Cleveland fans are still around the country. A lot of them here tonight.
There's the walk. So Weeks walks for the 2nd time. Make sure you join us tomorrow on Comcast Sportsnet California. A's wrap up this 3-game set with Tribe, Justin Masterson, and Jared Parker. 12:30 A's pregame live. Then the ball game at 1:05. Home of A's baseball is Comcast Sportsnet. So that'll be tomorrow. Then the Twins come to town Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The Twins are in Seattle. Take it on the Mariners. That's a 2-2 game in the 8th inning. Mariners are on a hot stretch. They've won 5 of their last 6.
I think that's one of the things going down the stretch when you get into the interdivisional play, that you're going to have the A's, Rangers, the Mariners, all the teams playing head-to-head. And with the Mariners, there's not an easy team in this division, the way everybody's playing. Rangers, Angels, Mariners, the A's, and they're playing each other, and you get down the final month of the season, and you go head-to-head. And the Mariners are going to have something to say, especially that, well, Vargas is pitching well, King Felix is pitching well.
Vargas pitched tonight.
Yeah, Millwood, the veteran's always pitching well. And Scribner is joining Jerry Blevins, so maybe just in case, see what happens, but Blevins ready to come in if this game get a couple more runs. Maybe it'd be Scribner.
So 1-0 the count to Coco Crisp, who's 0 for 3 with a walk. close. 2-0. And that misses high. 3-0. Seddon was a starter in the minor leagues this year, just brought up to the big leagues. And the 3-0 pitch, that one is in there. The Rays have tied it at 8. Ray Fosse, top of the 6th inning.
Wow.
Good pitch there on 3-1. So now full count, 2 outs. So KOTTARAS at second, Weeks at first. They will take off. Runners go, and COCO drills one right center field. That's headed for the alley. No, but he's going to get it. 1 run scores. Weeks will score. COCO Crisp flying around the bases. He's got a 2-run triple. So the runners were moving, so that pretty much assured both runs were going to score.
COCO took a 3-1 fastball and then got an even better 3-2 fastball to hit, and well, great head down, great extension, and drove the ball to right center. Nobody's going to get to it. So 2 more runs scoring with 2 outs. So great night for the Athletics in that regard, and a couple more walks scored. So 4 of those have scored, and COCO Crisp a triple to right center.
Triple number 5 for COCO this year. He's now got 30 RBIs in the year. After scoring 6 runs last night, the A's have scored 8 tonight.
Josh Donaldson is going to have a real good night and stay hot and drive in this other run. Then you know it's real hot.
Flares one, right center.
He's
Brantley tracks it down. I agree. We'll give him the hot title.
Yeah.
Couple of runs for the A's, 8-1 as we go to the ninth. A's with a 8-1 lead now as reached the 9th inning. A's looking for their 64th win of the year. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Evan Scribner comes in. 16th appearance for Scribner. Good ERA of 1.42. So he'll face Cabrera, Chu, and Santana here in the 9th. A's post-game live will follow the ball game. So the first pitch to ASDRUBAL Cabrera is outside. He's got a double tonight, 1 for 3, and a couple of hits last night. Scribner catches the outside corner with that one. Tomorrow, Masterson and Parker. Our covered starts at 12:30. And Cabrera gets one through the right side for his second hit.
Time now for the AT&T Uverse reverse replay. And how about this? Just a simple ground ball turns out to be an E6, and that would open up a 4-run inning. Great hustle by Cliff Pennington. And KOTCHMAN had the ball hit the heel of his glove. Usually comes up with those, but the pop hit him in the heel. Then that would be the beginning of a very good inning for the Athletics. And Cliff Pennington will be best known tonight for asking Bartolo Colon, "Are you tired?"
Great question.
And Bartolo laughing at him.
.1-0 pitch. Chu drives one to right. And Chu has a home run, and it's 8-3. So Shin-Soo Chu, his 15th home run of the year. So Scribner gives up his second home run this season.
90-mile-an-hour fastball down and into a left-hander, and Chu shows why he's a power hitter, and he's a typical left-hander, likes the fastball down and jumped all over.
So here's Santana. He's got a home run in the game. That was in the 7th inning. He's also hit into a double play and popped out. Big curveball from Scribner, first strike. Blevins is going to get up for the 3rd time tonight. Gary Blevins is going to get a workout no matter what.
He's ready. All he had to do is take his jacket off and said, "I'm ready." So he was going to come in a 6-1 game, and now the same deficit, 5 runs, and he's back up again. And with all the lefties in the lineup for the Indians, may not be long in the bullpen.
That one called a strike to even the count at 2-2.
Tommy Cam shows it right on the outside corner or close.
That one's lined to center. Coco is right there. Santana hit it right on the nose. 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning.
Bartolo Colon, the last 28 batters, faced 21 first pitch strikes, which is not unusual for him, as much as he throws strikes very consistently.
First pitch to Michael Brantley is a strike. Brantley is 1 for 3 in the ball game tonight, 3 for 7 in the series. There's that big curveball from Scribner. Brantley does not agree with Sam Holbrook.
It's because he was fooled badly. Maybe look back to see where KOTTARAS caught it, but over the plate, look where he is positioned, where KOTTARAS is, and say no more. A good strike right in the middle of the plate.
That pitch, same curveball, but it's low. Brantley is also lined out and grounded out. And the curveball again. This one's ripped toward right, and that's going to get down. Brantley, big turn, stops as Reddick hustles it back in. So third hit in the inning. Brantley is 2 for 4.
Well, it stayed with Uncle Charlie, the curveball. This one inside, and Brantley saw 4 in the at bat, and this one able to pull down the corner. No reliever likes to come in with a 7-run lead and have to worry about being taken out in the 9th inning. Like to make it nice and clean. That's what the A's want, a clean 9th inning, and it has not been a clean one. The 2-run home run. Remember, it was Blevins who was up, and then Scribner got up late after Coco Chris hit the triple, and might have changed a few things.
So Shelly Duncan steps in. Duncan 0 for 3. 1 for 7 in the series, and of course that one hit the grand slam last night. A's and Rays tied at 8, bottom of the 6th inning. Down in Anaheim. Fouled at the plate. Twins and the Mariners tied 2-2 in the 9th inning. Everything else is final in both leagues. One pitch to Duncan. There's that curveball again, but this is way outside. Missed again. 3-1.
There's Lillibridge hitting his batting gloves, maybe in case Blevins comes in. He decided to go with a pinch hitter with some of the lefties. I think the skipper's ready to make the move, and this might be a critical pitch for Evan Scribner.
And he throws a strike. Duncan, big swing. So full count. Eight hits for the Indians, 9 hits for the Athletics tonight. 3-2 pitch. And Duncan saw that big curve but hit it right off the end of the bat. So 3-2 again to Shelly Duncan. And he got it. So he stayed with that breaking ball, and Duncan could not hold up. He gets to strike out. 2 outs, and the manager pops out of the dugout. So he's going to make the change. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. KOTCHMAN, a left-handed hitter, is coming up. Blevins is coming in.
I will say that back-to-back curveballs by Scribner pretty impressive on 3 and 2, and threw both of them for strikes. an end is now available. Get to know All-Star reliever Ryan Cook, meet the women behind the scenes of athletics baseball, and learn where Josh Reddick finds his motivation. The new issue is available at team stores and online at oaklandathletics.com/magazine.
So Blevins comes in, the left-hander. Indians counter with a right-handed pinch hitter, Brent Lillibridge. So he'll hit for KOTCHMAN. Blevins tough on left-handers this year. So he'll face Lillibridge.
And CESPEDES in between innings. Goes over and sits down in the bullpen. Grout Balfour said, "I'll take over for you." Gets the glove, heads out, and CESPEDES decides,
done. One more out. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Can't run and hide from the camera.
So the crowd tonight over 30,000. As the A's trying to finish it off. 0-2 to Lillibridge. And he drives one to left field. Cespedes going back, still going back, and that is gone. On an 0-2 pitch, Lillibridge homers, and it's 8-5.
Now it's a save situation. Fastball away, and Lillibridge pinch hitting. And now Grant Balfour, who's going to go play left field, is going to get loose. Fastball, and Terrace wanted it inside. Instead, it was outside, and Lillibridge extended his arms, and this is not what the A's had hoped. Kurt Young's going to buy some time for Grant Balfour. That's 2 strikes on the hitter. And
oh. So Balfour quickly starts to throw. We have another pinch hitter. It's going to be Jason Donald. Donald is going to hit for Hanahan. So the Indians have scored 4 times here in the 9th inning.
Well, instead of a clean inning and keeping the ERA down for the staff, plus the home runs down, the Indians now hit 3 in the last 3 innings.
First pitch to Donald is up and away. So Blevins gives up the home run to the right-handed hitting Lillibridge, the pinch hitter. Change-up and a good one to Donald. Carrera, left-handed hitter, is in the on-deck circle. Donald played in the game last night, was 1 for 4. He scored a run. Played left field. Rips one foul.
And Jerry Blevins, of course, did not want to give up the home run, but he also would like to be walking and shaking hands as they come off the field instead of going to the dugout, walking back out and shaking hands. And he's 2 strikes again. The fans getting excited, and this time he's trying to put away the hitter. This time another pinch hitter.
2-2 now to Donald. Now Blevins is ready. The 2-2 pitch. Missed again, 3-2. It's Carrera.
All of a sudden, the triple by Coco Crisp is looking huge. To drive in the 2 runs to make it an 8-1 game. We did not know if this would have happened if Coco had not gotten the hit, but don't want to take a chance thinking about it.
Payoff pitch to Donald. And he lines one, center field, and that's a base hit.
And Graham Balfour's in the game.
That's the 5th hit here in the 9th inning. And the manager's out. So Blevins faces 2 hitters, gives up a 2-run homer and a single. So the Indians have done one thing. They got the ace closer not only warming up, but in the game. And that would be Grant Balfour. And with the tying run in the on-deck circle, this is a save situation for Balfour.
Just a few minutes ago, he was having fun with Yoenis Cespedes, who was sitting in the bullpen. Balfour grabbed his glove, was heading out, and that quickly he's got to go from having fun to being serious, and that's the life of a closer, life of a reliever in general, but especially a closer. And I don't think it's tough, very hard for Grant Balfour to get his game face on.
So Carrera is the hitter, and obviously you get him out, he's the final out in the game. So yeah, it's a big out to get, but KIPNIS would be next, and KIPNIS has some power.
Now batting, number 12, Ezequiel Carrera.
So Carrera steps in with Donald at first. Carrera is 0 for 3. He reached on a fielder's choice in the 8th inning. And he's the 8th man to bat in this inning. And there's a strike.
I think if Manny Acta had another pinch hitter, he might put him in there, because pinch hitters, starting with Littlebridge, Donald, both getting hits, and of course Carrera, a left-handed hitter, so with the righty coming in, leaves him in the game. And then of course the game started with a bunch of lefties in the lineup.
So 0-2, and the crowd is going to get up again. Those guys, well, they'd like to wrap this baby up with a W. And check swing and a high fastball, and it's rolled near the A's dugout. to the screen. 0-2.
Remember, Balfour never takes a lot of time. Once he gets set, gets the sign, and then gets set, it's minimal amount of time. Always concerned of whether a balk's going to be called on for not pausing long enough, but he pauses just enough time to keep his rhythm, his timing. Hopefully trying to get the third strike.
Runner goes, and this one's fouled just below us. So the Indians are not making this easy.
Maybe they got inspired by the Rays coming back against the Angels.
Yeah,
watching the out-of-town scoreboard. There it is. Once, what'd you say, 7 or 8 to nothing at one time? 8 to nothing?
It was 8. Then it was 8-7. Now 8-8. Carrera, did he go? Yes, he did, and that's the ball game. So Balfour comes in, gets that elusive final out, and the A's hang on and win the game.